Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Atypical Podcast with Deji, and we have a running joke that it's atypical, not atypical. And if I have to explain it, then it's no longer funny. I think at this point we will just be laughing for the sake of it. Nobody knows what the joke means. And I have a special guest with me today, an amazing guy, like all around everything. I'll let him introduce himself first. And then I'll do like I'll add Pepe. Go ahead, Richard.
Hi guys, my name is Richimilly. Call me Richimilly. I'm from Ghana, originally from Ghana, but based in the United States. I work in the United States Army as a petroleum lab specialist. I also work as a barber. I'm currently doing my master's in Liberty University in Virginia in project management.
Cool.
That's it for now.
Okay, so let me give the real intro.
Yo.
Great guy. So I met Richard on the at Clean Barbers.
Yeah, Clean Barbers.
Right?
Clean Barbers.
And he's been cutting my hair ever since. Amazing guy. Like maybe we'll talk about that at some point.
I got you.
Richard actually grew up in Ghana. He moved to Russia.
That's right.
How long did you live in Russia for?
I was in Russia for like 5 years.
5 years. Like living in Russia. And then you went to school there as well, didn't you?
So I did my first master's in international business actually in Russia. But before that I had to do a language program. So I did that for a year. And then from there I did the master's program for 2 years. But afterwards I stayed over, and then I started my PhD. And as time goes on, I switched. I had an opportunity to come to the United States, and put it on hold.
Isn't that interesting already, though? Like, okay, so PhD in what?
It's about management. So it's about in Russia we have this. So I did international business, my master's, and then they give you opportunity after you complete. They give you another kind of partial scholarship to continue.
Continue.
So
were you on scholarship for the master's program?
The master's, yeah. So what we do is like, if you're able to complete the language program and you're able to pass it, they give that kind of a partial scholarship because you're not paying full. Because if you want to do it in English medium, it's way expensive.
Oh, I see.
So the quick and smartest way to do it in the Russian medium.
Yeah.
And then so that's kind of a scholarship they give it to you because you're paying lower than expected.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So he lived in Russia, almost got a PhD in Russia, moved to the US, and then now he's in the US Army.
That's right.
Which is like pretty crazy because earlier in the year, dude told me like over a haircut, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not gonna be cutting your hair for the next 2 months. I really didn't care about him. I was more concerned about my hair.
That's right. That one, not only you, I swear.
I was more concerned, like, you can do whatever you want with your life. What's gonna happen to my hair? And by the way, guys, like it's a big deal. It's really a big deal. Like,
but let me tell you something. Remember, the same thing happened when I was in Russia. So when I had my visa to come here. So by the way, I kind of had we're gonna go into details when I talk about Russia. So whilst I was in school, I had a side job.
Okay.
I learned how to cut hair over in Russia. So the thing is, there are a lot of few black people in Russia.
Yeah.
Most of them are students. So and then like most of them are working. They're purely just going to school, and some of them are government scholarship.
Yeah.
Back from Africa and all that. So what I did was like I wanted to make some money.
Yeah.
So when I went to Russia, everyone was like, yo, here's how to make money. Because like, it's hard to, you can go to school, but it's hard to get a side job or something like that. So I was like, I was there, I went there in 2015. But in 2016, I was like, you know what? I need to do something because you can't always go ask home for money and all that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was a gym trainer for some time. I was like, I was looking at where to look at. I was like,
wait, have you always been fit? This guy's like,
yeah, I
fit, by the way, guys. Like,
so I looked like, I was like, where do people spend their money? A lot of people go to the gym. Like Russians, even if they don't have money, they don't go to the gym.
Really?
They want to look good.
Really?
So you can go to Russia, like the gym is full of old people, like still trying to look fit and all that. So I was like, let me be, So I was like, well, let me be a gym trainer. So I was like, I went there, started doing some gym stuff, training people. And I was like, you know what? The World Cup is going to be like 2018. to World Cup. The Russian hosted the World Cup in 2018.
Yeah.
So I said, no, well, let me go learn how to cut hair, and like maybe like there'll be like a lot of African guys coming in.
So
and
you
all
didn't
that.
know how to cut hair before that?
No, I never touched anybody's hair before that. Yo. The only person I did was my sister back in Ghana, but it was bad. So I never touched her.
Wait, did you cut it or did you like?
No,
Glad
like using blade and I mean it was good haircut. No one used to do it back at home. Yeah, blade and scissors and all that. So it was like that's what I did. So I never like learn how to cut hair, especially our fools. I just as the saying, when you're hungry, you always discover your talent.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
So actually, like, I went to the barber shop. I found ICF Studios. He's one great guy. So I went here. I was like, you know what? I'll teach you guys how to cut t-shirt hair, our kind of hair, and then you teach me how to cut the straight hair. I don't want to say
yeah.
And then
so basic in other terms,
yeah.
I'll teach you how to cut black hair.
Yeah.
Teach me how to cut white hair.
Definitely. But I didn't.
You didn't want to say it like that. Is that
Yeah, I mean
textured.
Yeah.
And
I mean
straight.
that's how we say.
Yeah.
Not get people feelings hurt. I mean.
Yeah. No. Go.
So I was like, you know what? So I didn't have the money to pay for it. So he was like, you know what? I like you, and I'll teach you how to do it. And they honestly didn't need to learn how to cut black folks. Like that was my way to get in.
Because nobody there was really no.
I mean that was my way to get in. So finally I went in, and then he started teaching me. He gave me. I was going every day. After class, I go and sit down and watch him all day, and I never touched anybody's hair for like 3 months because you don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
Russians are very sweet people, but some of them, like, their character is very mean. Like, if you mess with their hair, like, I don't know what's going to, like, you can't do that.
People are generally scared of Russians.
Yeah, that's a perception, but they're very sweet people. I might confess.
Yeah. But,
the way their demeanor, the way they talk, it sounds like they're angry, but, So, I was happy. I was just on the sideline. I was just on the sideline watching, and I was working on a dummy for like 3 months before I had the opportunity, to cut someone's hair. And then, funny enough, if you're a black person in Russia, they think automatically you're from the United States.
Really?
They think you're from here. So it's like, everybody, you see people come from different places, just they want to get cut by a black person. Like, not to be racist, but like, to have something to brag with. That's how they are. So that's like.
Wait, don't you guys think that's interesting?
So definitely that's how some people, like, the perception it was out there. And then, like, I was going with the flow, like, I had people coming in, and even though I was now learning, they were patient with me to work on them.
Yeah.
To a point where after a few months working with them, I decided to, it was expensive working there. So my folks, the African student, couldn't come in to the shop. So what I did was to move back to the hostel that I was living at then. I got myself a mirror, got myself small machines, started cutting from the hostel. So people from different hostels start coming to my place for haircuts. So like the word got out there, like, oh, this guy can cut. Because before I went there, nobody was really doing a good job. And so I just went in there. I was like, all of a sudden, all the Arabs guy, the Indian dudes, they all started coming to my hostel. I was like, you know what? So by the time I need to move from the hostel, get a shop. So I went somewhere to rent a small shop. So I named it the Black Russian Barbing Shop. So like I named it like the Black Russian Barbing Shop.
Did you put the name on it in Russian?
No, it's English. Like, they can like the Black Russian Barbing Shop.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I did. And then it's like, they like, you have to pick a name that they're happy. Like, cause you have to feel like it's all part of the strategy. I wasn't trying to play them, but you need to be kind of like you see yourself as one of them. That's when you go somewhere, learn their culture, learn their food, everything. Like, you are easily for you to, for them to easily accept you. And it's like, I got people coming in. And then, so that's what I was doing for some time now. And then.
So did your clientele change when you moved and started the Black?
Yeah, I started, by then I already knew how to cut the white folks, the straight hair. So I was like, I had people from all both sides now. So yeah, I had people coming in, and it's like.
And you were making money.
Yeah, I'm not say like, I was doing okay. It's better than nothing. I was doing okay. I'm not saying like making.
It's a whole brand for me. No. But this is actually really inspiring for me though, because so for people that are listening, I think that your what's the word for that? Like, that's really like scrappiness. It's like being able to because you were in need of something, and because people complain all the time, I don't have a job. Like, this wasn't like, it would have been a different thing if it was a talent that you had stored away somewhere, and then you said to yourself, oh, I'm going to go groom this talent and make money off of it. You literally said, I'm going to learn how to cut hair.
Definitely.
And you committed to it.
Yeah.
3 months of not actually touching anybody's hair and just sitting through every day and watching someone do something.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
That's definitely. I mean, one thing I would try to say is like them a little bit of that. Like most of our folks, there's like they want to be at specific place before they think life can start. All of us want to be somewhere. But I believe the place you find yourself, there's a reason for everything. I mean, one thing I always say, I'm a good Christian, I'm a believer, and I believe God doesn't make a mistake in any way. He places you somewhere. Before you can get to where you're going, you need to learn certain things on the way. So that when you get there, I think it will be easy for you, or it's like when it's time for you to get to the place you want to go. You're training, like, you go through certain things, not just by mistake. So I never set out to be in this country. My family lives in Germany. My dad, my siblings all live in Germany. Growing up in Ghana, I was like, maybe I knew I was going to be in Germany. I went to school. My dad was like, no, I'll finish high school. I'll come and pick you. I finish high school. Like, no.
So you're the only kid in Ghana?
Yeah. So he was like, no, finish. He's like, oh, finish college.
Well,
when you finish college, it'll be easy for you to. I'm like, all right. I went ahead, finished my college in Ghana. He was like, you know what? When I finish, like, finish your service, finish your national. I know in Nigeria you call it. What do you call it? NYC. Like, finish your national service, and I'll come and pick you. I'm like, I was like, this guy has no plan for me. Yeah, I was like, go to the point. I was like, you know what? I realized that was when, like, faith-wise, I realized, like, God even says it's even a sin or to put your trust in. I trust my dad, thinking he has a plan for me. And then go to a point, I was like, no way, I need to have a backup plan. So I love my dad, but I've only seen him twice in my life.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen him first time when I was 15. He came to Ghana. The second time he came again, I was about to finish college. That's only twice I've seen him. Anyway, I'm going to see him this December. I'm going to Germany to see him. But before then, I was like, it touched me like, this man has no plan for me. So I was like, you know what, God, like, that's when I started to switch my attention from putting my faith in him, trying to put my faith in God. Like, listen, this is the point I am right now. I'm going to go to Russia. I had an admission in Southern University in the UK. Old man said it's too expensive, you can't afford it. I was like, okay. So I told him about Russia, like, I told him about the scholarship. He was like, no, what are you going to do in Russia? Like, the person out there is hard for you to like make it like, that's where I'm going. I pray about it, I make a move. That's one thing like about me personally. If I pray about something, I'm like, God, even if it's a mistake, let it work in my favor. So I moved to Russia, and then through all these things, people will say like, my dad was like, I told not to go. Funny enough, when I completed my master's, I was like, what's the next move? My dad said something, I cannot stay over here. So I was like, all right. I'm on my own now. It's like, I told you not to go there. Wow. Now you are there, you're on your own now. Like, you know what? So I pray about this. I was still trying to make something happen. So all, just to make it about a point that you were referring to, why people think like there's no job here, there's no job there. At the moment, that's where I find myself. What are you going to do? You're going to sit down and wait till you go to the country you want to go before you start working.
Wow.
That's not going to be, you have to make something happen. And that's what I did.
And you literally have to open your eyes, and there are opportunities around you.
Definitely.
Because you tried your hands on the gym thing, and then you moved over to the haircut as well. Definitely. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, there's not to cut it off. I always say like back home, like there are a lot of folks back home who always really want to travel. I started traveling, they don't want to do anything. Like they were like, if I don't travel outside Ghana, outside Nigeria, I'm not gonna do anything. So when you call them like, there's no job here, like, for instance, if I was in Ghana by now, if I didn't go anywhere, I sure would have done this. Like, that's where I am right now. That's where you are. So at the moment you do something, of course, I'm not saying to like just sit on your dreams or something, but you have plans, you make moves. But for the meantime, you do something.
Because there are people that literally like have like, and this, what you're saying happens a lot. And I just wonder if there's someone that's like in that situation that's going to be listening. Because there are people that say, I want to go to school in America, I want to go to school in the UK, and they will literally not do anything.
A lot.
Like, they will let years pass, waiting for that dream to come to pass.
A lot of folks in back home, like, and then that all they are doing is find ways and means to live. There's a point in time someone can tell me, like, I have this sum of money I want to find. I'm like, if you have that money with you in Africa and you still want to travel, like, and then you are doing good. I don't want to mention the sum of money. Recently, I had a call, like, and then it's all about the mentality that we have back home, that unless I travel, there's nothing gonna work for me. And that's what most people have on their mind, and that's what's killing us as the youth back home in Africa. Like I'm saying this, somehow maybe sitting back at home like, yo, you are saying this because you're already there. For me personally, I never set out to be here. As I said, that wasn't my plan. Fast forward back in Russia, whilst I was doing the barbing thing, I had a lot of people but whilst we were in school, they had the opportunity to come here, visit United States, go to UK. I also give them a haircut. I was happy for them. I would never for once force my way out to get out of Russia. I knew when the time was right, that's gonna happen. And then when the time was right, I was like 2019. That was when I was able to get my visa to come here. Even I had this it was a business visa that we had. There's this event that happened in Atlanta. It was like a business event, like research work for PhD student. It ranks up. So if you're able to register, they give invitation to come for the program and all that. And that's what most people like. I just tried it out. And then to talk about it, when I applied for that, that was when I completed my master's, and I was still there because I was still trying to hold on and see what my next move gonna be. So that's when I started with the PhD and trying to hold on to it and see if I have any opportunity, something.
So you can hold your status.
So I hope I can extend my student visa. So that's what I was like. So when I was there, I was like, I did this. I was trying to go in for the US embassy. So the closest ones, there was one in St. Petersburg.
Before we even get to the journey like outside of Russia, what was the experience for you going from like hot blazing Ghana to Russia, and in terms of like the culture difference and everything, like what was your first 1 week like?
Yeah, I would say I was born in November, so I like the cold. Like naturally in Ghana around those time, I would think like Harmattan period is a bit cold. So for me, I like cold. I would take cold any day.
Wait, you take Russia cold?
I mean, when I went there, it's cold over there, but it's not. When I went there in August, right? So it was a little bit after summer.
I imagine Russia to be cold like the whole year.
Yeah, I mean,
am I the only one?
No, there are some stages. There are some stages in it. So like summertime, the southern part of Russia, which I would like, some part like Moscow can get cold. Like in summertime, some people wear some jacket, like bomber jacket a little bit. Yeah, but there's some stages. You can go to somewhere in Sochi. Sochi is like California. It's hot all year round.
Really?
Yeah, that's some part. Like Russia is that big. Like it can have some part like Sochi. I was saying.
I mean, I sound ignorant as God knows what, and I own that, but I did not know that.
Yeah, so Sochi is like most Russians go there even during the like maybe winter time. People go to Florida because it's warmer there. That's how Sochi is like. So it differs. Some part of Russia, like we go to Siberia, the northern part of Russia is really cold. And when you go to like Moscow, there's like the state that I was Volgograd state. So which was like, it's cold and it can really get hot.
Again?
Volgograd. Yeah. So it can get cold over there, but no. So when I went to August 25th, and it was now like summer entering. So it was a nice weather. Okay. So I say my first week, I was happy with the weather. I was.
Well, everything else, like what was it like shifting into that?
To adapt, like before you go somewhere, like I tried to fit in, right?
Yeah.
But you go there, and then what I was trying to say, like most people, they treat foreigners well. There are two or bad people. So I mean, like mainly the men who are like don't like the African dude because they think you're after them. I mean, the girls will like you. And it's like it's normal. It's like they will be like a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But I know they're really accepting.
Okay.
Especially with the way you handle yourself. And I mean, everywhere you go, first impression counts, right? People can have perception about this group of people because of what they've heard. But if you show them the other side of it, like, oh, that's not even true. Like I thought all black people are, aggressive and all that, but these guys are different. And so I would say like they're really loving people. You be on the street, someone will just, can I take picture with you? Like they just want to take picture with, like not because of disrespect, but I said because like they find you. I mean, yeah, they just like, and then some people will just walk by you and take selfie without even telling you. They just go, just like.
Wait, I'm glad for that. Are people of color really that rare? Like,
yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Then there's a perception again.
Yeah.
One of I think I'm also asking me like, are they racist? Like, that's a perception out there. No, they're not. You see, before you even go, people have an idea about global people. The same way I see people have an idea about Africans. Before they've not been to Africa before, because they have an idea. Like an
impression.
They watch a Tarzan movie, Hollywood. They think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So people say some dumb questions because like they don't want to research. They don't want to take their phone and put it maybe Nigeria. And then I don't blame them. The news outlet that over there, like take BBC, CNN, something happened in Nigeria. They'll go and take a northern part of Nigeria, which you haven't even been there before. Yeah. The poor part of it. But every country has a poor side.
Yeah.
That's what they put it on there. They put it on a big story. Nigeria, and then they go and bring the desert or something.
What was the most surprising thing like in Russia? Like what surprised you the most?
I also like the most surprising thing about when I went there was like everybody walks so fast.
Really?
I didn't understand it. I was like, why? I was like,
that's a unique thing to remember.
Yeah, it's true. Seriously, that was my first time. I was like everybody like to walk. For instance, if you want to go on a date, they'll be like, Pardon Goliath. Pardon Goliath mean like, let's go for a walk. Like, and then I didn't understand why they walk so fast until it got really cold. And when it got cold, because if you're outside, you want to get to where you're going real fast. I was like, so you see,
no, that makes sense.
Seriously, I didn't know. Like, I was like, why do people like?
I used to like walking faster. They can keep warm.
Trust me, like if you're going, if you're going to walk with even lady, like she walks faster than you. Like I'm like, so I didn't understand until it got really cold. Like I'm like, well, okay, that it makes sense now. Nobody want to walk slow. Everybody was on it. Like so, for me, that was something that was really interesting about them.
Yeah,
and also something that really surprised me about their food. The food aspect of it, they have like as everywhere they have their culture, like their traditional food, and then they have like intercontinental food, which like and one thing that surprised me the most is their females. I always tell my friends they're like Africans, but they are white.
Really?
Because we have the perception that white folks, excuse me to say, some don't know how to like. African man will like a woman that will come to the house, maybe try and clean up a little bit. Not trying to, I want to say like the modern day people think like, like if you want to marry someone, you want someone who want like a wife material. Like who just come to your house and then like, try to put things in place. Maybe you didn't even ask her to do it. But she come to your house and maybe something's there like she doesn't have to do it.
Yeah.
But they have that kind of.
They have the same culture.
Trust me, they will come, they'll maybe you invite someone to your house, just want to cook for you. Seriously, it was like something I was really surprised.
Wow.
I expect African women to know that.
And do they cook or like do they slap a sandwich together?
Trust me, but they are like, can I also say they're like African people, but they are white.
Wow.
That's really different.
What's your favorite like Russian like dish? Like
there's one called grishka. Grishka is like it's like wheat. Grishka is one of the good source of protein. It's like easily cooked. It's like making like oatmeal. Like that one. Yeah. That one is like it's just raw. You just in its raw natural state. You just put water on it, put a bit of salt in it, and just get boiled. After it's done, I don't put sugar. I just put milk on it, and that's it. And then there's one called plov. Plov is like
so Grisha doesn't sound good to me.
I mean,
sound like prison food.
but that's the most healthiest thing ever.
Really?
Trust me. It's one of the healthiest.
So is everybody fit in Russia? Are people fit?
Yeah, I would say like, trust me, like, I don't want to like, offend any kind of, but if you go there and then you come to this country, like, eating wise, you realize a big difference, like, the way people eat over there, because like, over there, you can go to McDonald's, it tastes different. And go to McDonald's, it tastes different.
True.
Because the government doesn't allow them to this NGO thing, like, whatever. They don't really add stuff to your food like that. So the ingredient they use there, the same thing, but the tomatoes taste different. Banana tastes different. You come here, banana tastes like.
Yeah.
So that's different.
What's about GMO? I think you said NGO.
Well, I'm not a doctor.
Okay, yeah. So, but you're right. You're right. Like,
so,
and it's the same thing. Actually, I noticed the same thing even in London. Like, their McDonald's is different.
Yeah.
Their Coke tastes less sweet.
Yeah. It is.
And their portions are so much smaller.
Yeah. Because like,
I think I need to dedicate a whole episode to like how America's food is killing Americans.
They know.
They
know.
No, so they know.
They know.
Like, they know. It's like, what are we gonna do?
We know.
But yeah. So you said like, the second thing was what?
The plov.
Plov, yeah.
So plov is like plov is basically like rice, like the way we make jollof rice, right? But it's a bunch of water in it.
Oh,
so it's not like it's a lot of like
Like it's very
Soupy.
moisture rich.
Something like that.
Okay. Kind of like I'm thinking of
like rice and soup, right? But it's It's like rice and soup,
but it's sitting in the soup.
Yeah, sitting in the soup.
There's something like that.
Full
They
of
have
veggies, full of so.
No, there's something like that in the Louisiana folks make. Chris, do you? Gumbo. That's what I'm thinking about. That's like gumbo.
Yeah. So it's like very popular. Like I think it's from Armenia, but it's all
wrapped in.
Wrapped in. So yeah.
Cool. So what was the journey like? Moving from there to now in the US.
Yeah, I was like moving from Russia was like
because it talks about like you mentioned the process of getting the B1 visa. Now you're talking about how you were actually gonna get the visa itself.
Yeah. That was really one of the difficult time which I would say God really showed up. There's a case where I was done with my master's. I had the money I had then. I was trying to use it to extend, pay for the extension or to try and go to the PhD program. Even though I had a partial scholarship, I still have to pay something. So I was like, do I use this money? Because the place I needed to go for the interview, Moscow was shut down because US and Russia thing, it's a long time ago. So
really,
Moscow wasn't full operational. Your country back wasn't full operational.
What year was that?
That was in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, February 2019. So, so the closest, I say honestly, the closest one, the only one left was Vladivostok. So Vladivostok was close to China. They share the same border with China.
Wow.
So that's how big Russia is.
Mm-hmm.
So from the place I traveled to that embassy, it took me I took 3 transit together.
What was the total length? How long was the whole trip in hours?
I was 20 something hours.
Wow.
Yeah, by flight, not by flight.
Wow.
Yeah, by flight. So I moved. So
the same country, guys.
In the same country. That's how big the country is. So I moved. So I went I was in Volgograd. So I left from Volgograd to Moscow. From Moscow to Novgorod. So Novgorod to Novosibirsk. From Novosibirsk to Vladivostok. So I did everything. The ticket was expensive as well, so I bought a ticket. I was like, yo, and I borrowed money from my guy, Ade. He's a Nigerian dude.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that, trust me, even if in Africa we say something, even if it's in my mouth, I'll take it and give it to him. He's one dude who showed up for me.
Wow. Shout out Ade.
Yeah, Ade, they call him Pablo. So
shout out Pablo.
Yeah, man. I would say he's only Pablo with the degree. Man. He's one. So Ade, I took money from Ade. Like, yo, I'm going to this. I spent all my money. So I left on Monday. And then my barbering shop was supposed to open on Wednesday. So I did all my calculation. I need to come back. I had people, I needed the money. It's like, if I make this trip, all my money is done. And I was like, whatever happens, it's all good. That's the praise I prayed about it. Hey, if God wants this to go through, I don't stress myself about stuff. One time about me, if I pray about it, it goes through fine. If it doesn't go through, it's all part of it. God knows what he's doing. And that's the only way. If you have this mindset,
all things work together for good. If
you have this mindset, you never get disappointed. I mean, as humans, how you're gonna get, but if you believe in God, maybe that's not the right move for you to do.
Interesting.
That's what I see things. So I went there, took all this trade. So I went to Moscow to Novgorod, and I reached Novosibirsk, I think 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. So the airport was kind of domestic one. That one was you can't sleep there. When I went there, it was snowing. So when I signed the snow was over here. Because I went in February. Yeah, I went in February. I remember. So I went there. I was like, so this folk just met me. I was like, hey, where are you going? I told them I'm going to the American Embassy in Vladivostok. They were like, so what are you going to do? You know where to sleep? I said, I don't. There's a hotel there. I'm like, I don't have money for the hotel. It was like, follow me. Just go to our house. You just find a place for you to sleep.
Wow.
Yes, I
followed them. Person?
Yeah, I followed them to their house. Yeah, I'm not going to sleep in that cold because there was only one bench. It's a domestic airport.
Oh, yeah.
It's a domestic airport. Those ones, they are not really international standard for you to, So
did you ask the person that they came up?
No, they just they knew I was starting there. I was trying to, everybody's going, everybody know where they are going. Obviously don't know where I'm supposed to go. Yeah, so they can tell
God sent you help.
Yeah, they can still So I just I went to the I was standing there, they came to me like, I just followed them. I'm like, yo.
Were you not concerned like that?
So let's go. I was like, yo, let's go.
You was probably thinking whatever is going to happen to me there. Not the worst that will happen to me if I
trust
stay
me, I
here.
went there, all the family were so welcoming. Like, yo, I mean, like, as a gang, they're fascinated about the black man thing. They're happy to have a black man in his house.
Yeah.
Everybody was all happy, like, asking you questions. They're intrigued about, they want to find more about you.
Wow.
So they have a conversation with you, and then anytime it happens, I'm always happy to talk about it because, like,
what kind of questions would they ask?
I mean, like, where you from? They watch soccer, so they watch the World Cup. So they like,
okay.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah, so they like football.
Conversation starter. So
they will like about African country, asking about ASEAN. They ask you about Eto. They ask you about all these names that, and then they ask you like, where you from? Are they like, some people think Africa is like only one country.
Yeah.
So it's like, you tell them about stuff.
You now start to educate them.
Yeah. So that is an opportunity for you to like
that's
tell them
beautiful.
stuff, show them some pictures. Yeah.
You said you try to touch your head.
No, I mean like it's like the kids. Some of the kids like I was once on a train. Some of the kids would come and touch you and run away. They just want to hold your hands like how you feel like. So like I was like,
that's funny.
I know.
That's funny.
I know. So yeah, fast forward. So I went to the house, and then my next flight was I think around like was the next morning like 11 something.
Wow.
Yeah, so
it's a long trip.
Long trip. So I slept there. I mean, they made me a nice breakfast in the morning. I just had it and I was my way. So I went to the airport again, took flight. Then I went to Vladivostok. So when I got to Vladivostok, I was like, I need to do this and then return again. But I need to get back to Volgograd as soon as I can because I need to open the shop. So I went there and like when I went to the embassy, one funny enough, there was another Ghanaian guy who was going for the same visa. African people never talk about visa appointment. This guy didn't even tell anybody he's going there. So I met him. They're like, what are you doing here? So I was like,
wait, you knew this guy from where?
I didn't be in the same city.
From your original city?
So he was in the medical school and I was in the business school.
Yeah.
So we all from Ghana actually. So I was like, yo, what are you doing here? It's like, I'm coming to get this. I'm like, yo.
See, two things African people will never tell you about when they're traveling. If an African person is getting on a plane, they will not. You ask someone like, when are you traveling? Say about the end of the month. Your flight has a date. There's a date on your flight, like about the end of the month.
I was like, yo, what I do? So I was happy to see him actually. Because when I went there, that place, most of them look like, excuse me, say like, there's Native American because like, see how they look like?
Yeah.
Like, because they are kind of, most of them are Chinese, but they're on the same border. So they're kind of interracial thing, Chinese, Russian thing. Most of them look like, Asian people, even though they are Russian. But,
interesting.
So I was like, then I went there, did everything. I was waiting for my date. And then at that moment, even though I prayed about everything, I was so scared. I was like, yo, I've done all this trip, all this thing I've gone through. I was just praying like, God, like, let your will be done. But I want to hear some good news. So I went there, fast forward, 2 guys came before me. They were denied visa. I'm like, yo, this counselor is mad. I'm like, yo, I mean, he's not in a good mood.
Yeah.
So they called me. And then, so my friend went before me. So he went to different counselor and I also went to the one. So I went there and I showed my document. They asked me, what do you do? I told them what I do. I'm in school and I told them about the barbing shop, which he was happy to hear about that. It's like, they always want to know you were going to come back and everything.
Yeah, because you had a business.
Yeah, I had a business.
And that's a bit...
I'm still in school. So
that's a good plug for people that go for visas. If you're doing a non-immigrant visa, they typically want to know that you have ties to your country.
Definitely.
That will bring you back home because non-immigrant visa, really, you're saying that you will come back.
Definitely. And then that one thing I always like, when going for visa, is like, in my opinion, you don't want to let it look like you need it so much. Yeah. And that's what I think most mistake people do.
Desperate.
So if you do like the way you present yourself, make it look at it like it's a do or die phrase. Even though I know what's a do or die for me.
Yeah.
But the way I was answering the question, like, yo, I have things to do. Like, the way you present yourself, everything, like yo, you don't need it like that. Even if you need it like that, you don't need it like that.
Yeah.
There's a time I went there, they keep asking questions, and then I was just flowing, answering all the questions. And then one funny thing is like, I'll tell people all the time, when the counselors are asking the question, they don't determine if you qualify for the visa or not because it's a program they're using.
Yeah.
When you get the answer, the program is gonna pop up because they'll be typing everything you tell them.
Yeah.
So when you keep talking, they'll be looking at you and pulling in. And some of them, if they want to help you, they repeat the question 2 times. But they know
so
if they know if that one the answer, you need to be smart with the answer.
Yeah,
that's what I like. So finally, like I did everything, and this guy was looking at me. I knew he was like, he liked the way I tried. I mean, thank God everything went for it. And he was like, you know what? And in Russia, if they don't give you the visa, they will not take your processing fee. They don't take your interview now. They're not going to take it. So unless you're going to, after the interview, that's when you pay for it.
Can Nigeria sign that deal, bro?
Yeah, that's the
Can Nigeria sign
that
deal? Because that's the
government.
It really is the government. Yeah. Because do you know how much money the embassies in these people are siphoning dollars?
Yeah. So in Russia, if the government if you're not going to give them visa, they're not going to pay for the visa fee.
I love Russians.
Yeah.
Man.
So they go.
I'm sure. Vladimir was like. If you know, what? If you don't give, visa, collect money. Sorry, guys, that's a bad impression. Yeah. But I love it. I actually love that strength of a country to be able to insist on stuff.
Yeah, because the visa is for visa processing. So if you're not getting a visa, why do you take my visa processing?
Yeah, why did you take
you don't take my money?
And it's also a good point, to highlight to people that all of these things is really international relations.
Yep, international
relations. Remember the time when, I think it was during COVID, that the UK had said some weird thing about, no flights coming in from Nigeria. Does anybody remember that?
Was it when COVID time? No.
It was during COVID time.
Was it Ebola or COVID?
No, it was COVID. They had banned Nigeria, and then Nigeria hit back with we ban you too. Yep. We ban you right back. Yep. And in days, they relaxed it because people don't realize that all of these things are international relations. Countries have to defend their own interests.
Yeah, it's
all, and African nations are almost wired to take.
It's all it's all respect. It goes both ways. And the one thing about Africans, I would say, because of how we are brought up, you talk to people. I always say I have two sides. I'm quick to show respect. I'm quick to give you what you do. But if I realize you're taking advantage of it, I switch it up real quick. Because over here, you can come. We are used to saying please when you talk. That time you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
We are used to saying please. I don't know about Nigeria, but in Ghana, we talk to people, we say please. And we talk to people, they feel like, why are you saying please? And then the moment you realize
in America, right?
The way they treat you, they start to shout on you and then that's when you be this person doesn't deserve that kind of respect.
Yeah, because in America too, when you say sorry, it's weird. And everybody says sorry.
That's
even when you're not, even when there's nothing to be sorry for.
That's your problem.
We're programmed to say sorry.
Yeah, I mean, depend how you take it and how you see it from.
Yeah.
So back to your point, I mean, that's how the government also operate until they need to switch it up because you show them too much respect and they treat you like classroom no, they didn't vote for you, someone voted for you. So I'm like, yo.
No, facts. Okay, so that's very interesting. What would you say is the hardest thing you've ever done? Because you have this really wide life experience, spanning different continents, different jobs that you've taken, different things that you've done. What's the hardest thing you've done?
The hardest thing I would say is
the army?
Joining the army.
I thought you were gonna say that.
Yeah, joining the army.
But I don't think that joining the army would be hard for you because you're really fit.
It's not about that. That's what the people think. It's about you knowing freedom all your life. At this age in your life, you know what? And then you need to put everything aside. So I joined the army I didn't have phone for 3 months. And then you have someone talk down on you. Someone that, excuse me to say, the person has no degree. Excuse me to say, the person just want to disrespect you.
No, that's fine.
Seriously, I'm telling you that's the hardest part. I'm not saying having a degree is something, but this is a person who knows, you put respect on someone's name.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, having a degree is not easy. I have 3 of those. I'm not saying it's to be proudful of or to boast about it.
Yeah,
but you join the army, you relinquish everything.
Yeah.
They treat you as I was ready for it. I was doing all this. But that's the thing. At this age, it's not as if some people join as early as 17.
Yeah, most
18,
people join
19.
at 18.
At that age is good. At that age, you are still living with your mom. So most of them are happy to live away from home. Most of them are happy to getting paid that small amount, depending on your rank. So most of them will join that age, private and all that. Yeah, they tell them summer camp. They're happy with it for the experience.
person they thought there was summer
Yeah,
camp.
seriously, most of them are happy with
Not the
it.
summer camp.
Then I joined, serious, bro. Then I joined the army. I don't have my phone. I sleeping like, through in a room, which there's nothing wrong with it, but eat like 2 times, and I eat a lot. Then they'll give you like small food. Yo, like, bro, I'm telling you, that was the hardest part. That was for me.
Did you lose any weight?
Over there, like, I think I did. Because like, you have the strength, you get shredded up, but you burn more energy than you get back. Trust me, you burn more energy than you get back. And then the condition you go through. So for me, the army was like a whole kind of like, it's a big sacrifice. That I would say big. I was like, because I joined the reserves, so I didn't go out because I would say like it's a lot. It's very demanding. So even with this 7 months that I was away, so you go through the basic training, then you do your job training.
Yeah.
So after your job training, so like
you were there for like you told me in February you're gonna be back.
In July, something like that.
No, you said like May or June or something weird like that.
I'm like,
when did you come back?
Yeah, man, that one I didn't want to tell you the first time. I know you're gonna be disappointed. I was like, yeah, but I was supposed to be back in July.
Yeah.
But it turned out to come back in like somewhere August. Which is like, and that, we call something like, we just adjust fire and move on. They can tell you, hey, you're supposed to go home today, but this something happened.
Yeah.
You just have to, you're not going. You can get mad by within you, but nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So you have to reassess, like, your mental, like it's about mental strength, and that's where most people that will join the army either quit or either.
Did you see people quit?
Yeah, a lot of people quit.
Really?
A lot of people attempted like suicide because like it's mentally there's strength. Trust me, bro. Like I'm not playing. There are a lot of time that you know something, and they just purposefully speak down on you. Like they want to disrespect you.
Oh, they want you to break.
Nah, at times like it get personal.
Oh, really?
Because they're also humans. They're also like people doing it like, okay, this is how you have to act as a drill sergeant. But some people they get too personal, say certain things you're not supposed to say. And some of them get in trouble. They get relieved of their duties too. Because there are so many few drill sergeants that people complain about them.
Wow.
Yeah, because like there's some instances like, you talk like you want to toughen the person up, right? And all the like it's a mind game, first of all. But the way they do it, you can be all hard, all this, but you can find the human side of you, let the person know, hey, I'm just trying to. Because like out there on the battlefield, you need to be strong. You need to be mentally strong. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Anything that comes out, you need to be able to take it, which is understandable. But at the same time, you can be smart enough, but let the person know after everything is settled, hey, I'm doing this. You don't have to say it, but it's a nice way or gesture you can do. But some of them like 24/7 on you, talking down on you, they can see something personal about you, about how you look, this and that. And some people can't take it. Some people can't take it. Some people get so down. There are so many instances like, for instance, we went on the field for like a few days. We sleep outside in the foxhole, like, it's like, and then afterwards, nothing. Once again, it's like, you do all this in which on the normal day, you're not going to do it. Go through all this stress, come home, and then you're going to eat. We have these MREs, like meals ready to eat, which is like, basically, that's what you eat on the field. Like, it's supposed to be like, highly nutritious, but
Tastes like crap.
Bro, I'm trying that. It's like, that thing doesn't like, but you have to eat it, bro. If you eat that food, constipation is like, like, trust me, it's I can't go into details, but it's a whole thing that it's not easy. But if you go through that process, for me, I always say like the life that I've been through is a life experience on its own.
Wow.
Most of us, we know where we're coming from. We never had it easy. So going through that process wasn't really a big deal for me. But then again, relinquishing everything that you know like, at this age,
Yeah.
Going through at this age in life where you already settled, like, and it's like somebody talking down. Like, people have this specific African man. We respect ladies a lot. We respect women. But in our home, where we are brought, it's about respect. We're not saying like, yeah, higher than women or not. We're all like, but it's about culture thing, which it's okay. Every country has its own culture and way they do things. But for me, once again, it was difficult for you to like relinquish everything, being treated as trash, everything. But then again, it's about mental strength. And which I think most of us, the Black people, the African people in there, it was okay. Like, you're not complaining about it. The only thing was we were complaining about the food. And the only things we were complaining was about the qualification for the rifle, which was like, we were the only people struggling to qualify because like, we don't play with guns like that.
Oh, okay. So the Africans had a tougher time with like rifle training.
Yeah, when it comes like the physical up and running, doing all the, you're always on the top of it. But when it comes to rifle, the white folks were, they were qualifying and they'll be sitting and watching us. Like, we did like...
that's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, I said to myself, when I give birth, I'm going to teach my kid how to fire rifle because that thing was a disgrace. I'm not going to lie. That was like...
It was a disgrace?
Yeah, trust me. Most of us couldn't qualify. They have to restart the program.
Really?
Because they couldn't qualify the rifle. They have to. So it's like 40 target popping up. You have to shoot down like 23. And then we were like I was hitting like high 21 like 4 times. The last one I was able to hit 25. Which is like, I've been shot a gun before. Up until.
Wow.
I went in there. So it was like, you have only 2 weeks to, how can someone hadn't held a gun before? 2 weeks to master and start qualifying. Like, it was like, but there's some people.
That is wild. I never thought about that.
Yeah. It was like, that's the stress. Like, in that condition, 1 month is like 1 year over there. It looked like it's a whole prison.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
Any day...
You don't have any devices. Even the fact that you're not even connected to the world.
Trust me, you wake up like 4 a.m., 3:30 a.m. every morning, just run like 3 miles every day.
3 miles in the morning?
Yeah, 2 miles every day, as long as depending on the weather. If you like the weather is not too good, like, you can do some stretching here and there. But yeah, so I would say the army, back to your question again, the army was like, I would say doing this was the hardest thing. Like, I would have chosen not to go and still be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the other way. Like, as you know, I've been here like what? So 2019, I went back to Russia again in 2020. That's when the COVID happened. So I stayed in Russia for 6 months and I came back in 2020, I guess. You know everything. You know the story about my green card and everything.
Yeah.
And thank God I was like, how many years now? 3 years, I would say.
Yeah.
Get a green card, get your passport, get the army to pay.
Now you're a US citizen.
Yeah. Get the army to pay your tuition fee for you. Like, it's only God. Like, that's
amazing, man. That's amazing. That's a really interesting story.
Yeah.
So what's next on the horizon for you now?
Yeah, I'm saying also on January I'm starting my master's in project management in LA University in Virginia.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited about it. Like, I just want to get a second one.
Yeah.
In this country, if you don't have a degree from me, every job want to like have a way like
Yeah.
They only believe in the degree from this country. So I was like, let me get additional one. And let's see how it goes. Yeah. And
that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think you ever go back to Russia and live there?
I don't necessarily like live back. I would like to go there. Unfortunately, I cannot go now for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because because the US Army president.
Yeah, it's one to be a US citizen. If I was just a US citizen, not in the army, I would have easily gone like even tomorrow.
Oh, I heard that too. That like army people, you can't just travel to any country as you please.
The US doesn't have a policy like that, but it's like it's common sense. Even for instance, like
So it's not really a law. It's more like
same law. You have to be like, for instance, like I've been in Russia for 5 years, and that was a question that when I joined the army, all the investigators, like they have to investigate you, talk to you, this defense, the DOD. They talked to me about a lot of questions raised came on, which makes sense.
About your living in Russia before.
They have to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did they polygraph test you?
No, they didn't because like I didn't go for any job that require intelligence. My job is I work in a lab. I test fuel, and I'm just a petroleum kind of engineer. That's what I do. So even though my clearance, my friends like we have level of clearance. So I'm yet to be approved for the basic ones, which makes sense because like hey. You need to make sure.
Yes, ties.
Yeah. So it's like
some of your classmates have gotten their clearance already, but you haven't.
Yeah, some of like who are already citizens. Yeah, because like they're born here and they have never have never traveled before. But it doesn't like some people even move. I have one mate who also from Nigeria. He's yet to get a clearance because like they keep their soul on it, talking to people and the reference that he gave. So I would say like, yeah. So for mine, it's like different. Like if you have nothing to hide, I was just relaxed about it. They ask you questions, you answer in the best way you can. So yeah. So if I should go to Russia today, I think they're gonna do the same. Even before then, before I even joined the army. And when I came in 2019, I used to go back and forth to research Russia. And then anytime I travel, when I get to New York, they ask me tons of questions. When I get to Moscow, They also ask me tons of questions.
Wow,
what did I do here?
interesting.
Yeah, what did I do here? What did I stay? And it's like,
Because both countries are like...
everybody's scared of each other. It's funny how everybody's scared of each other. Yeah, it's funny how it's unfortunate how it is, right? These two great countries.
I mean, to be fair, if I was a US Customs and Border Patrol guy and I saw you walking in, bro, I'm gonna ask 1,001 questions. Because this guy looks like what do you call that guy? James Bond. Like he came on a mission, man. I'm like, this has to be the best trained operative. I need to get to the bottom of this.
Bro, trust me, like I get coming to the barbing shop again. Anyway, I still work in the barbing shop. Like that's one thing. I put a great deal of respect on it. And I always say this is a job that started paying me. None of my degrees has ever paid me as much as this job have ever paid me.
Bro, I respect that.
Yeah, I put respect on that. That goes down to like, I just work with one. I was like, learning a skill is something that nobody can ever take from me. They seem like going to school, and that's in Africa, like, we don't respect certain things.
Like,
you see?
You need to...
We don't.
Have I not been... This is something I've been saying again and again. Because, as you know, I pastor young people. Yeah. And I always like to emphasize that, like, you cannot be certificate-oriented. Yeah. You need to be skill-oriented. You live in a world where it's even easier than ever before to learn a skill. And that's something that stays with you. It's your property. No one can take it away from you.
That's like, then again, that's how we are brought up. If you're not a doctor, if you're not a lawyer,
certificate orientation.
Your family see you as a failure. And then it depends on how do you even define success. I always keep finding I always say people find problems comparing themselves to someone else.
Yeah.
I start, if there's a life was like this, life is a race, I start from all the way from the back. That's what I keep saying, because where I come from, some people have it handed to them. That's okay. Life is different. Everybody is from God knows what he's doing. Yeah. Some people are stronger than the other. So he chose who's supposed to be in the palace and who's supposed to serve. It's God who decides. So if you find yourself in the palace, it's okay. I'm not saying
nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. But some of us didn't start in the palace. We start serving. So I will never compare myself. I see someone how do you define success? How do you compare yourself? So I never compare myself. That's what people keep doing. And then people get depressed about that. They call it at your age. What do you mean at my age? People okay, we are all 30 years. Okay. So that doesn't mean no. You know what I'm saying? We all start from somewhere.
You know what Pastor Chris said? He said, there's some people say, you know where my mates are talking? You know where my mates are? Some of my mates are talking in jail. Some of my mates are in the grave.
Definitely.
To put this in perspective, yeah.
So I would say, how do you define success? Success, what I always make my own definition. What you've been able to produce based on what has been given to you.
Wow. Success is the ability to produce something out of whatever has been given to you. That's it. And it's to the extent that you're able to produce out of what's been handed you.
So if that's what you base your success on. So you base on what they hand you, Deji, and what they hand me, what you're able to produce, you're gonna wait I can't measure success with you on the same level if I didn't get if
I didn't get the same
level of resources you got. So how do you compare it then? And that's how I see people always too hard on themselves, because this guy, okay, he started from it's okay. I'm not saying don't be ambitious. I'm not saying don't be have dreams. Have dreams that try to reach the sky. Yeah. But at the same time,
don't compare yourself
to the others. That's the problem. That's what most people. So I was I started from so many places. My mate after school, I did my first degree in banking and finance. I always wanted to work in the bank. My mate started there, started working them. I was like, you know what? I needed to get my master at a certain age. That was my plan. Way back in school, I was just doing I was selling on this, I sell stuff. When I was in school, I used to have a small boutique back in Ghana. I call it the mobile boutique. So we go to school and then I give it to them on credit. And then every month they pay me something so they're able to finish
it. So you've always been
So it's
so first of all, where does that come from? Because sometimes people feel it's one of those things that you're either born with or you're not. Because think about it. You've been very innovative a long time.
Yeah, I would say it depends on how do you When I was a kid, I realized when my mom gives you money, she shows me what to use the money for, right? She give you the money and asks you to buy this. So if I make my own money, of course I respect her, but at least I can buy something that I want, right? wasn't as to make money and go and do bad stuff with it. But I was like, as young as I was, I always want to be presentable, right? And my mom always give me a haircut once a week. Right? I mean, once a week. Once, like, every 2 months. So I was like, you know what? And then, you know what? I was telling, like, you know how in this country, the blacks over here thinks the shoe you wear determine how good your house, that kind of, if you're doing good at home.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's how most people get involved in that kind of shoe. Like, they want to buy Jordan and all that. But in Africa, where I come from, in Ghana, it's about how you look, your appearance. If your hair, your neighbor sees you, like, your hair, like, why? What's going on in the house? You only, like, you don't have a haircut for that long. Yeah, that's why in Ghana, they judge you based on, like, how you look. You're from, like, hey, like, what's going on? So, my mom couldn't afford. I was my mom alone. My mom couldn't afford. As I said, I saw my dad for the first time when I was 15.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's me and my mom. And then it's like, that woman had done a lot of sacrifice for me, but I realized I need to help in a way, right? So that got a point in time. I was like, you know what? I went to barbing shop. Was one man over there, Mr. Gordon. I remember him up to now. I was like, you know what? I'll sweep your shop for you. I'll sweep every day and they give me a haircut whenever I'm due for a haircut.
Wow.
That's what I was doing. So I was like, I go in there, I'll just sweep for him real quick. And then he give me a haircut all the time. Like, you know what? It's about how you present yourself. Like, I didn't have enough.
Wait, so this was you wanted to get a haircut.
Yep.
You didn't ask him for money.
No.
You said, this man has the ability to give me a haircut. I'll sweep
I'll sweep
your shop for you. You give me a haircut once.
Whenever I'm due, like, it was give me a haircut 2 weeks or so. And then funny enough, like, I was watching. Maybe that was what, like, I learned how to cut from. I didn't know. I didn't touch anybody. But I was watching him all the time.
So you had pre-knowledge before you did the training.
I was watching him all the time. So I was like, I lost contact with him like, this a long time ago. Like, I asked my mom, like, that man, like, can you go and ask him, like, this guy, like, just, you know. So I was like, I'm saying, like, for me, presentation was everything. So if we go somewhere right now, the way you're dressed, the way you look, that will precede the respect people will give it to you. So if you go somewhere looking all, like, you know, it doesn't matter how money you have in your bank account. People just, how shabby you look, that's the respect that follow you.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough clothes then, but I was make sure I wash my clothes. Make sure, like, you know, got my clean haircut.
So you've always been a clean guy.
Yeah, but so I didn't have money, but you never know. I'm not going to tell you, but how you look, that's a perceive. You know, so for me, it's about appearance. For me, like, but you command respect without even asking for it.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Side joke. I just remembered this. I was messing with this guy when he was going to the army. I said, because you know they shave their hair. Oh yeah, they shave your hair.
Yeah,
like,
but yeah, you go bald. You go bald for like 3 months. I was going bald every week.
Yeah, like they'll scrape it the whole time. I really thought his hairline was not going to survive. I was so ready to laugh at him. And look at this guy came back with like full head of hair to the front of his. I'm like, wow.
That's a special prayer I did. I'm like, God.
You said you're praying?
That's a special prayer I did. I'm like, God, if this doesn't go, but I'm going to take it as soon as I get home. I'm like, yo.
By the way, the joke about Turkey there is that's where people go to do hair transplants.
Yeah, definitely.
But congratulations, man. Your hair grew back nice. So I can continue selling Richimilly brand. Oh, man.
Thank God, though, Charlie.
So, just final few questions. This has been really, really enlightening. When did you give your heart to Christ? Like, how did you get born again?
Yeah, I would say I've been I've been Christian all my life.
Okay.
And it's like most of us have been Christian all our life. But when you grow, it's up to you to decide whether you want to be content to be a Christian or
At what
not.
point did you decide that this is my thing? I want to live for God.
Yeah, I think I think I've always, like, you know, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm the perfect Christian or something. But I think depending on the situation you find yourself in, it's like we have no choice but God. And like, I don't know what, like, I always say some of us, some people go through some problems, you know, they try to drink, you know, smoke. That's everybody how they deal with stress. And then my thing was like, just pray.
Talk to God.
Just talk to God and just hit the gym. Like, that's like, for me, yeah, definitely, bro. That's how it's been, like, you know, growing up with my mom and like this lady.
So you've been through a lot?
Yeah,
because bro's jacked. If challenges send you to the gym.
Try, bro.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, so my mom was like, I realized that this lady is like, you know, she sacrificed a lot for me. She couldn't able to go to like. She always wanted to go to like to be like a cook or something, vocational school. Like, and then she couldn't go because that's when she got pregnant. And then when she got pregnant, my dad wasn't here. My dad left for Germany before, so I was even born. So,
are you the only child from her?
Yeah, and like I have one sister. Like,
younger?
Yeah, younger. And she just, I mean, she's not that young. She kind of completed college not long ago. So yeah, so I was like, I grew up and I saw my mom had this whole, we have this, we call it chop box. I don't know how that's how you call it. When I want to, I have this box full of, when I'm about to go to college, high school, they have a box that you buy provision. So in Ghana, we call it chop box. So I saw one of those, and my mom has a whole ton of like, vocational stuff in it.
Wow.
So I was like, what's that? I was like, I couldn't go because I had you.
Wow.
And then I knew like, I have a responsibility to her to make sure she's okay. So at that point in time, I was like, you know what? I couldn't do what every kid, like, mess up once in a while and like, you're a kid, be a kid. I was like, nah, I couldn't do that. Because if I know I don't end up well and then she's done.
Whew. That's tough.
Yeah, for me, like, that was she didn't ask me for this. Like, she never knew. I've never had this conversation with her. But to me, that's a personal kind of commitment I made. Like, listen, if I turn out any other way, and then she's like,
what would the sacrifice have been for?
Yeah, nothing.
My gosh.
Nothing. And it's like, so for me, it was like, I was like, today, when I was in Russia, I started working a little bit. I was like, no, you're not going to work again. No, we had a small restaurant back in, my mom and I used to wake up like every morning, like, 4 a.m. So we need to start cooking or that. I need to help in. Like, we've been doing that thing for a year. My grandmom started it, and then she passed away because of the heat. So she had stroke. Like, my mom was like doing the same thing. Like, no, you're not gonna do it. I love my grandma to death, but you're not going to end up like her. Because like the heat that you go to, in Africa, we cook with this. You know how the heat, so the heat, you sound the heat, the fire thing.
Yeah, it's a lot,
the blood, and you end up getting stroke. So like, my mom, like, she fell sick once, so I heard about it, like, nah, I'm gonna do the work right now. And then since then, thank God she's never wait. I'm like, just stay home. Just go and meet your friends and have a conversation. Go and see them and watch them work, and you're gonna stay home. So like, every month, and for me, that's what I live for. Every other thing is bonus. I didn't ask for this. Like, any other thing else, it's like, let me able to take care of my mom. And then my stepsis came in, and like, at least take care of her in school. And for me, that's the only thing I've ever asked for. So anything else is just extra. So for me, I was like,
that's real, man. That's real. That's touching. That's touching. That's actually quite inspiring, man. That's quite inspiring. What's your best advice you've ever heard, or best advice you'd give?
Best advice? I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot.
Well, what's your own? What's the one that you feel like you live by?
Yeah, I would say like one thing I would say is like, always have a heart of forgiveness. Like, if you hold things inside a lot, you never get where you want to get. Yeah. Because your mind is always on another person that you're mad at. Your heart is always in the wrong place. Like, you can get mad at somebody, like, you think about a person more than yourself. Like, that's how unforgiving can be. Wow. Like, if you really, people can offend you. I'm not like, you have a right to be mad. But one thing about me, I get mad today, I tell you my piece and we're done. I'll see you the next day and so greet you. I'm like, you be like, after everything I did to this guy, I'm like, you did that. I'm not stupid, I know. But I don't have anything, I don't hold anything against you. Wow. And then one thing I would say, like, have a heart of forgiveness. That's like, it doesn't matter how much it is, just find a way to live past it. And
that's amazing, man.
And that's it.
This guy is a great guy. I've told him that he has a seat on my groomsman list when I'm getting married. And
I wait to you.
The only reason being that we need sharp haircuts.
I wait to you. I really wanted to get married first, but I can't follow your steps now. So I'm really waiting for you.
But he's a great guy. He's a great guy. This has been awesome, man. I feel like I've learned a lot. It's been a very enlightening episode.
Thank you for the invite, bro.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. So guys, remember to follow us. It's atypicalpodcast.show on all social media platforms, especially King's Chat. And you can visit our website, atypicalpodcast.show. That's .show and not .com. And you can also reach us at hello@atypicalpodcast.com. atypicalpodcast.show. Any are you gonna anything you're advertising? Where can they find you?
Yeah,
if they live in the Maryland area, should they come get a haircut from Clean Barbers?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Clean Barbers, like
his haircuts are expensive, guys. That guy was like, I'm like, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Clean Barbers is not just a barber shop. It's a place. It's one thing. It's just I'm not just a barber there. I'm kind of a part owner.
Yeah.
With Brendan Howard, he's like a brother to me. We have a whole idea that we want to use it as a platform to tell people about Christ. He's a youth pastor himself.
Yeah, I love Brandon. He's a great guy.
And then there's a lot of things that we people that comes in there, they can witness. Like, it's not just about barbering shop, just giving haircut.
Absolutely,
it's a way of we bless people. It's a way we also use our platform to tell people about Christ.
One of the things that caught my attention when I first walked in was I got in and it was all Christian music playing in the background. That's and like the most beautiful barbershop setup I've ever experienced in the US till date. And I've lived in America some 17 years or so. The most beautiful barbershop setup. And the music is just like Christian music the whole time.
Yeah, that's one thing that's one thing we have built on. It's not about just coming there for haircut. It's about the experience of that. For us, we believe that when I came in like 2019 and then I got introduced to him, like when I came, I was like, you know what? I don't want to cut hair again. But I've been cutting hair for like, I was like, so I was supposed to go and see him. I didn't go. I was like, the next day I was like, God, if you really want me to cut hair again, let him call me again.
Wow.
The next day he called me, I'm like, I'm going. So like, I told him this, we were having fun. I'm like, so I went there, it's like he told me about everything. I was like, you know what, I'm about like, starting from the scratch, trying to name. So far we have like 2 locations and we are trying to get more locations as time goes on. That's a plan. That's a plan to also be blessing to people, Like guys who want to learn how to cut hair, we always there. Like we teach people, we try to, and later we try and open shops with them. Like the idea is not about making money for yourself. The idea is like, being a blessing to people. And that's how we see things. That's how we so if, as you said, I always tell like, it doesn't matter where I find myself. Even if I find myself in the White House, anytime I get, I'm still gonna cut hair. It's like it's a passion. It's not like a business anymore. It's like more of like I do it. I put respect on it. It doesn't matter which level I am. I'm still gonna be a barber. I'm still gonna cut hair. I'm still gonna, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, Clean Barber. Find yourself in Maryland, Rosedale, like Clean Barbers. You go to cleanbarbers.com. You're gonna find us. You can like, as you said, it's not that pricey, but it's just
comfortable pricing. Let them know it's good pricing. It's okay. What's your social media for you personally?
So you go to Clean. I was saying our social media is like Clean Barbers on Instagram.
And Clean is Kleen Barbers.
Kleen Barbers. Go on to Instagram. You're gonna find on Facebook. Yeah, if you want to come to me personally, it's Richimilly at Clean Barbers. Definitely gonna see on there. It's like everybody's good in there. All the barbers are great. So yeah.
But he's the greatest.
Yeah, man, I tried.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. God bless you.